Hi everybody, I decided to hop on here to give a quick little stretching session. And of course, often when people think about stretching, they're thinking about their big muscle groups. And I want to talk about some of our smaller muscles that are so important. So over the last few days, I've been talking about the impact of stress and the way that it can change the way we feel in our bodies, the way that our voices sound, and the way that we can receive others. And so there are some things that you can do to mitigate stress. And I not only use these in my own practice as an actor and as a voice teacher, and in getting ready for performances, but I actually also use this when I'm about to go into a race because I'm a triathlete, and the couple of hours leading up to the beginning of a race, especially when you're surrounded by other people, it's incredible how much you have your own anxiety and then you're absorbing the anxiety of the people around you. I remember looking at the faces of the last race I was in, and there were just people sitting on the beach staring off into the water, almost like they could stare down that water, and trying to psych themselves up for that swim. Because historically, the swimming component of a triathlon race tends to be the weakest part. So I started, after having a race that did not start very well for me, I actually started doing these exercises before a race, as well as having used them in preparation for auditions and as part of my daily practice. So the first thing that you're going to do is simply drop your head to your chest and take a breath. And let your jaw go here. Let there be some space between your molars. And then roll your left ear to your left shoulder and take a breath. And if you'd like a little bit more, opposite arm, your right arm, reach the fingertips out away from your hip and breathe. Let that arm go. Roll your chin back down to your chest and take a breath. Take a fist under the forehead and use your fist to raise your head up and look to the left and the right. Drop your chin back down to your chest. Take a breath. Roll your left ear over your left shoulder. Take a breath. Take the fingers of your opposite arm and walk them away from your hip. Soften into any kind of intensity that you experience. Let those fingers go. Roll the chin back down to the chest. Take a fist under the forehead to raise the head up and look to the left and the right. Take a nice stretch here with your upper body and clasp your hands behind you and stretch the front of your chest. And if there's a yawn, we want that yawn. I want you to be opening up your inner space. Also, with a yawn, it's a type of stress relief or tension release, because when you take a muscle and you tense it and then you let it go, that muscle becomes actually more relaxed. So something that you can do in your car, something you can do before you walk into an audition, any kind of situation is a silent scream. So the next thing we're gonna do is I want you to take a silent scream with your face, bring up your shoulders and bring up your arms, hold for a count of 5, and then let that go. All right, 1, 2, 3. And let that go. It might look funny, but it can help to release everything. So another thing that stress can do or anxiety can do is it can cause the tongue to retract and all of this to get really tight. So yawning, dropping the jaw open, and dropping the tongue forward are all very valuable ways to counteract the effects of stress on the physiology of your body. So, take a yawn. Bring your fingertips to your temples and hook your thumb around the back of your jaw and let the weight of your hands drop your jaw open. In one of my earlier videos, I put gloves on. So if you're feeling, and I did wash my hands before I started this video, so if you're not comfortable touching your face, you can just follow along energetically and then do it another time. You can put on gloves. Definitely wash your hands, but we won't be reaching into the mouth today. Bring your fingertips to your temples and hook your thumb around your jaw and just breathe as you let the weight of your hands open your jaw. Hold. Notice what is present for you in this moment. Notice where your breath is. And now bring your thumbs to the underside of your chin, and you can feel the bottom of your tongue. Give a little massage there. Again, let there be space between your molars. Bring your hands down. Let your jaw drop. And just feel whatever there is to feel. Now bring your fingers to either side of your spine where your skull and your neck come together. And I'm just finding I want to lean into that. But you can press as hard or as gently as you'd like. And again, breathe here with your jaw released. Ooh, and if you yawn, that's excellent. I didn't realize I'd be yawning so much in this video. Oh dear. And then hold. If you find a particularly juicy spot, hold for 5 seconds. And breathe. your arms come down. If you notice a little tension's crept up in your shoulders and arms, you can give a little squeeze and drop, or you can bounce and pause here. Notice whatever there is to notice. Take a moment to hear the sounds inside the room and the sounds outside of the room. Take a moment to notice sensations in your body. Is there one sensation in particular that feels neutral or anchoring? And breathe into that sensation. Perhaps now as you breathe, you can imagine that place in your body where that sensation is orienting or originating, allowing that sensation to become expansive and spread through your body as you breathe. Oh my goodness, I can feel another yawn coming. And you can spend as much time with this as you want. Just feeling that sensation in your body of neutral or anchoring. And then allowing that sensation to expand through your body as you breathe. And then just like last day, take a moment to notice the beating of your heart and where in your body you feel your heartbeat. And now, is there a place that you could touch yourself that feels affirming, that feels comforting? I like that word, comforting. Where on your body could you bring a hand just to bring a little comfort to yourself? And then let that go in 3, 2, 1. Let the light come back into your eyes if your eyes are closed. Beautiful. So that's not all of it, but those are a few things that I do when I'm preparing for a race or a performance or a situation where I can kind of feel myself getting tight and getting wound up. And something that I love is I joke that I teach from the outside in. That often a lot of acting training is very inside out. It's very you think about a motivation, or you do some scenes, some script analysis, and work from there. And I love that. But where I start is when I move in a certain way. When I do something with my body, when I do some massage or some release, then that actually changes my internal landscape. I feel more flexible. I feel more like a channel for text or for an emotional experience, so that I don't feel like I'm generating something. I'm not making it happen. I'm allowing it to move through me. So those are all some things that I love to share. And I bring it as part of my practice, and I also use when I'm feeling anxious. And I invite you to explore those things anytime you like in your own time, and to let me know how you're experiencing them. Doesn't mean it's a magic wand. I remember when I started trying the square breathing, like the in for 4, and then hold for 4, and then out for 4, and hold for 4. It actually made me feel more anxious when I first started doing it. And I found then some other things with moving my body helped me to start to calm down, to the point that things like the square breathing started to be a little bit more effective for me. But some of the mindfulness, meditation-y work, breathing work initially, when I was going through a period where I was very, very wound up and very, very stressed out, it made me kind of wind up even more. And so being able to move and release in a different way helped me to prepare myself for other work. So to close off, the reason also that I have been keeping talking about triathlons today is I've been really thinking about some of us, it's been a couple of weeks, some of us it's been 2 weeks. It depends on where in the world you are. But I was really thinking that sprinting is not going to get us out of this. Today, it's a question to think about your endurance. This is a long haul. In the grand scheme of things, when you look back on your entire life, it will feel short. But while we're in it, it's like when I'm doing a race and I see somebody trying to go out super hot, and their heart rate goes up. They start to panic, their body goes into survival mode, and when you are looking at racing for a couple of hours, you need to ease into it. And so with this idea of thinking about preparing for the next week, find your endurance, find your breath. Instead of leaning forward into the traces, feeling like you have to gallop away, can you open up and find some ease? Can you find a mindset of patience and expansion? Can you find your breath and let your breath drop into your body? Can you release your tongue? Can you let your neck soften? So, again, I always come up with these videos and I'm thinking about 17 things I want to do. And I'm trying as a part of this discipline for myself to just offer a few things each time. And then I think about more things to do next time. But I think that that's a lot today. And that's enough. So I'm holding space for all of you, all of my partners in this endurance. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. See you later.